Chat, chat, chat. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello and welcome to the Road to Wrestling School, the HOV to the HOP. HOP, of course, standing for the House of Pain, Neil Superior Professional Wrestling Training Center in beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. I am Grizzly Joe Grasso, and with me as always,
Hashtag Hamish Stewart.
we are two up-and-coming wrestling trainees. We trained years before, took a break, and now we're back to finish our certification. We are literally driving to wrestling school, so we are on the road to wrestling school, and we're going to let you listen in on the conversation. How you doing this week, Hamish?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I went back to sort of the three areas of powerlifting this week again, and realized I was like, man, why is my squat not what it used to be? And I was like, oh, this blows.
I tell you what, man, I've been getting down on some quesadillas and some quesalupas, and my squats have never been better.
Nice. But maybe I should do that. But so getting back to real stuff.
Yes.
So I realized it's because I took 4 weeks off to train for this 10-miler.
Oh, yeah, that's dumb. Never do that.
Yeah, I cut out like the strength training in the legs and was all endurance training. And then I was like, so I was pushing close to 300 on my squat, which I was like, hooray, that's super awesome. But now I'm barely back up to repping out 10 at 200 with proper form. So I'm like, oh God, do I have to take, and squatting is just the pits.
I'll have you know, I benched 55 pounds the other day, and it was nice.
Yeah, you did.
And it was nice, yeah.
Nice.
Whole 55.
You're killing it.
Right there, yeah.
Killing it. But all in all, okay week. Everybody's a little sick in my house. The doctor said allergies, but you don't get allergy. Like your son doesn't get allergies on Saturday, then you get allergies on Monday, and your wife get allergies on Tuesday.
That sounds like a cop-out.
It's a cold. We had a cold.
Yeah, that's a cold.
And he's like, oh, we should try this Nasonex and this other thing. And I was like, no, but whatever. We're all getting better. So on the mend, so super good. How about you, Joe?
Well, this week's been nice. I've been doing some choreography work, some fight choreography up at Rising Sun High School, and that's been fun. Been doing
Sweet.
Macbeth. That was fun.
I've heard of that play before.
It's a good play. You should read it sometime.
No, I don't.
I think we do that. I think we do that in our show. Our show, Renaissance Rumble. Oh yeah, that's our professional wrestling themed, Renaissance themed
stunt show.
That it is. RenaissanceRumble.com. Come check us out. And if you go there, hell, you may find links to a workshop that we are teaching at the end of May.
That's right. It's an actor workshop, which is the intro and art of professional wrestling, as well as the history of the business. 5-week course. Competitively priced. Please take a look at it. It will stretch you in ways that any regular acting class would not. It is a fresh and interesting look at how you can use professional wrestling in acting and how you can, and you have a lot of fun pro wrestling.
That's right. Yeah, you can get a taste of professional wrestling. If you're not sure if you want to go to wrestling school or if you just want to try it out, you never tried it before, maybe it's always been your dream, but you're just not ready to commit. Come try us out.
Yeah.
And if you do well, hell, you could end up in the car with us on the road to wrestling school.
Yeah, be on the podcast.
That's right. Now, you said some interesting things there. This is an actor workshop because wrestling is a work. It's not real. I use that in quotations. I wouldn't call it fake either, the same way I wouldn't call a show or a movie fake. But it's staged. It is a work. And therein, it's acting. Theater.
Right.
Now, Hamish, the question that came to me the other day, why are we training? Why are we doing this? Why are we not satisfied?
This is freaking awesome.
Doing our fight choreography at the Renaissance Festival. Why are we not satisfied to just watch wrestling? Why do we feel like we need to go do it? Why that? Why put our bodies through that at this late age, Hamish?
Yeah, so there's several reasons for that. I mean, number one, and I can only speak for me. I don't want to speak for you. Number one is I feel like I failed myself in leaving the training. Mm-hmm. Like, I really feel like, there's certain, like, mountains you have to conquer in your life. And I left this, and I was like, look, I can do this. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready to go back. I can do this. That was one of the reasons. I was like, I got to do this. I got to conquer this. This demon.
No, I hear you. I feel the same way. But let's go back even farther. Let's take that question back even farther. What made you want to become a professional wrestler? Where did that moment in your mind go, I want to do that? And why do we do it now? Why do we still have that drive? That drive is so strong that this many years after your training, 15 years if I recall,
right? Yeah,
that you're like willing to come back and do it because it is a mountain. Why isn't it a mountain for you?
Yeah. So there's a lot in there, Grizz.
I know it's a very loaded question.
Yeah, there's a ton in there. So when you watch it as a kid, these people are supermen and they're super women. They do amazing things, fantastic things that you can't do and nobody can do. And so you want to be able to perform that, and you want to be able to do it. And one of the reasons that kind of brings it home now in the older twilight of the wrestling career,
yes.
if ever. The dawn and twilight at the same time, is that it makes you a better performer. This is it's the most difficult, so wrestling is like, gets looked at like monster truck shows.
Yes.
Now, in a way it is a monster truck show, but in another way, it really isn't. It requires the most amount of, I don't care what medium you're in, you give pro wrestling a shot, you'll realize that you need to be more present, more in the moment, more in the now than any play or anything you're ever going to do. You can't, like you do a play or you do a sword fight in a show, you know what all the moves are going to be. There's no, you're not walking in and going, okay, Macbeth, you're the bad guy, and, Macduff, I'm going to win. So here's the finish. I'm going to kill you, but in between, well, let's just sword fight.
Right. That doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't happen. But there's also so much freedom in this that you get to make up and you get to explore. It's a constant exploration and a constant reinventing and trying to figure out what works, and it's immediate. Immediate response from the audience, from the trainer, from everything. It's exhilarating. I
would argue, and the reason to dovetail off yours, why I got into it, it's what got me into stage combat. The reason I do stage combat at all is because of professional wrestling. Because theater is conflict. That is the base of theater. There's conflict. Something battling something else.
That's why you watch something.
That's why you watch something.
You wouldn't watch a blade of grass growing because it's not interest. There's no conflict.
Right, exactly.
Unless there's a drought and you're emotionally invested in the blade of grass.
Exactly.
And,
I would argue pro wrestling, similar to gladiatorial combat, is the simplest theater you can get. One side versus the other, good versus evil, the oldest story ever told, besides the hero's journey, which really, pro wrestling is the hero's journey. If you follow a good guy, if you follow a face, It's the hero's journey. It's just really, really simplified. And when it gets that simple, I think it's super powerful if done correctly. We always talk in theater, when you're doing theater, keep it simple, stupid. And you can't get much more simple than two guys battling out in a ring. And you're hoping that your guy wins and trounces the evil guy.
Right, and then, and if you have a long enough arc, a long enough time to do with it, each match is its own story.
Yes. So
within each match, you can, run that hero's journey, you can run that story, you can run the good versus evil, but if you have a longer arc, so me and Grizz are going to have a grudge match, and then, I cheat Grizz out for a win, then he comes back, and goes, hey, that was unfair. Now we're going to go again, and we're to do it again next month or whatever we're going to do.
Right.
Then then it's got longer legs to it, and you can explore deeper into it. But yeah, you're right. There's, it's one-on-one. It's good versus evil, and if done right, it's a compelling 8 minutes, 10-minute story.
I would challenge every performer out there, every director. Go and watch a live wrestling match. You can watch it on TV, and that's one thing, but that's a whole different
You're right, whole different ball game. Yeah,
if you go to everyone should go to at least one good live wrestling show.
Right.
Go to a good live wrestling show that people have told you is a good show.
And if you're looking for a good pro wrestling live show, text or email us or find us at Facebook at the Road to Wrestling School on Facebook. Hit us up with a message, and we'll put it on there.
Yeah, you can get to us at Road to Wrestling School at gmail.com.
Right.
We take emails.
Yeah, or find us on the Facebook and post it up there, and we'll tell you what's
there you go. Well, we'll get to the other stuff later. Other plugs, if you will. And we'll get to our sponsor, Fatheads, at the end.
Oh, good, because they really need it.
They really need it. And FanDuel, I think FanDuel.
Yeah, FanDuel.
What do you need to stop giving these fake free commercials? People are going to really think they're our sponsor.
Hopefully, FanDuel. And
they'll just be like, "Are these guys? Are we sponsoring these guys? I haven't sent them a check. Well, we better get them back pay."
I hope they figure it out. And they're like, I hope they send us a cease and desist.
Now, can they do that? We're saying good things about them.
You're right. We are.
Like, it's all good things.
We're not trashing them. You're right.
What was I talking about? Go see a good wrestling show once, because you'll see that story. You'll see that crowd interaction. You want to talk about Shakespearean acting? Go watch wrestling.
Right.
That's why we created Renaissance Rumble, because that is the base. That's Shakespearean acting, talking to the audience, dealing with them, playing out a conflict on stage.
Yeah, and as a performer, if you have a chance to do it, because you get your entire 8-week rehearsal period, or however long your rehearsal period it is, to go, this is what my Hamlet would do during this part, or this is what my character will do during this part. No. You immediately go out there and you immediately feed off what the audience gives you.
Yes.
And you can prepare, the whole night. Oh man, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to look at one person, I'm going to call him a fatty, and see what they do. And you could do that, and the whole audience could laugh. And you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? Like,
That's true.
Oh no, it is the most, you've got to be ready and on the fly just for anything.
Yeah, I loathe long rehearsal processes for that very reason. If you go too long in the rehearsal process, you start to get bogged down.
You get stale.
It gets stale, or you get locked into one choice, or you have too many choices. Whereas if you have a short one, 2 to 3 week max rehearsal process, you don't have time. You got to make choices and move.
Yeah, but your actor's got to be highly motivated. Like,
right, very true.
They got to be ready and off book. You can't just
you can't. Yeah.
We're going to do 2 weeks.
That's why you go your training. That's why you put in the work.
Yeah,
and you're a strong performer and you're motivated. You do good work in that time. Yes, like newer actors, they need a longer time because they're learning the process. But working on the fly is so powerful. I mean, that's why improv theater, when done correctly, is so powerful.
Right.
Because it's all in the moment. Now, it could easily go just as bad. It's as true with wrestling, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see some amazing matches like, they came up with that on the fly. But other ones like, they came up with that on the fly.
Yeah,
obviously. And it's obviously not good.
What they did. Yeah. No, yeah, it is hit or miss. And, if you go to see a full wrestling show, you're going to see that. You're going to go. It doesn't matter where you're going. You're going to go. You go to the WWE, and I would actually argue if you go to the WWE, you're going to see a majority of things where you're going to go, ugh, God, kill me now.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, if you go to, and not to say that they're bad workers, it's just the creative is kind of funky. But if you go to like a live local show, you're going to see a lot of guys hungry to work and hungry to really impress and make a name for themselves.
Yep.
So it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. You got great workers here in the great state of Maryland. We got some great promotions, and they're doing great work.
Yeah, and so, but to get back to your point there,
yes,
on theater and wrestling. So wrestling certainly doesn't get the and I'm not going to say notoriety, but the respect that it deserves.
Correct.
Because the it's not, you see people, everybody always talks about theater programs. You got to be a triple threat. You got to be able to sing, you got to be able to dance, you got to be able to act. When you walk into a wrestling ring, it's not just triple threat. You got to be it all. I mean, obviously there's not a lot of singing that goes on, but
right, it can happen.
Dancing, but so you get in, you've got to be entertaining, you've got to be captivating, and you got to be a good wrestler.
Yep.
You can't go in and suck it up as a wrestler, and for give. You can highlight probably 5, 10, you were 20 guys right now, and you go, these guys suck as wrestlers, and I would actually argue that they've perfected the 5 moves that they do.
Right.
And the craft, and they've honed in on who their character is, so that they've built up this repertoire of, I'm good, I'm very compelling to watch.
Yes.
I'm a good mic person, I'm good in the ring, and I've got the right things to make the audience, to bring them along with me, which is the hardest part. I mean, every actor's been out there, and you've been like, my God, I'm acting my face off. Why are the people not with me? Why are the people not, behind me? Oh, I get to kiss this girl. Why are they not applauding when I kiss this? This should be it.
Right.
It's because you didn't bring them along. you didn't, you didn't do your job.
That's the other thing people forget. I mean, we do a lot of acting at the Renaissance Festival, and I think it's very similar to pro wrestling crowds. We see them. We're in the daylight. We're looking at them. We're interacting with them.
Yeah, eyeball to eyeball with these
They're
people.
the other character. They're the other person. They're involved in the show just as much as you are. Same with wrestling crowds. They're in the show.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you're the worker, but they're just as much a part of the show.
Right, and the good worker will work the crowd and not have the crowd work them.
Yes.
Which is a small, seems like a small distinction, but is really it's the toughest thing to do. It's
It really
the hard,
is.
Because it's easy to get, and that's what I struggle with. I just don't want to get cheap heat like crazy, and the cheap heat is like coming out going, "Hey, you're fat, fatty." Everybody, yeah, okay, everybody hates that,
Right.
But you want to get that. You want to get that heat that Ric Flair gets. When
Yeah.
he just comes out and he has a shit-eating grin, and everybody goes, "God, I hate that guy."
Right.
And then he backs off, and you're like, "Oh, he's a wuss. Oh, I hate him even more." And then when he takes over, you're like, "Why is this guy so cocky? He can't. He's gonna run. He runs away from the hero. I want that."
Yep.
And and it's hard. I just can't put my finger on it to get it yet.
Oh, yeah, it's very hard.
So hard.
And coming on the other side as a face, getting that crowd with you. I mean, I've got a pretty decent thing to get them with me, but it's hard to keep them throughout the match. I mean, when I'm taking heat and I'm selling, not selling too much. One lesson Rambo teaches is if you sell too much, if you look like you're just getting your ass handed to you, they're not going to get behind you.
Right, yeah.
You're just giving up, especially if you just lay there after a move. If you're just like done, you take one clothesline, you're done. They don't want to see that. They want to see you fighting to get back. They want to see you constantly trying to get on top.
One thing I'm going to give credit to, and a lot of the workers do this, but I saw it more specifically last week with Cocky Rocky being a face, which again, I swear to Christ, I can't see this guy as a face. I mean, he's like the greatest heel I've ever seen.
He's such a good heel.
Such a good heel. But yeah, but as a face, I'm always shaking his head. No, like he get knocked down from a clothesline. No, that's not. He's shaking his head. No.
Oh, I never
Either
noticed that.
Shaking it off, or I looked to me like he was like, no, like internally, no, this isn't it. I'm back up. I'm getting up.
That's interesting.
I was like, God, I'm taking that. I'm stealing that. If I'm working.
That's
face.
a really good point. Yeah, that just like that determining. No, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and the one thing that you do that I think really pulls it home, for me it does, is you pick up your hand, and it's not even above your head, it's even kind of even slightly out to the side, and you just start pumping your hand to like if you were pumping a ball in your hand.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know, for some reason when I see you do that, I'm like, all right, here comes Joe.
I don't know why I do that. It gets me pumped up.
Yeah, it's good.
It works. I like it. It's very Grizzly too.
Yeah.
Just like this weird moment. Like, why is he doing that? That's such a weird thing to do.
But works out.
It seems to work. It gets me pumped.
There's one thing that I need to work. Well, everybody. Well, like, okay, so you and I both, because we don't have finish moves or whatever. But
I have a finish move.
You do have a finish move.
I never get to do it, but I have it.
And you have a calling card to that finish move.
I do.
Which is very. I mean, this is part of the bringing the audience along. When they see that calling card, they go, "Oh, here it comes! Here comes that finish move." So we were talking about this with The Rock. When you see The Rock plant that spine buster in the center of the ring, and he stands over his opponent, and he kicks that first arm in, and you go, "Oh my God! Here comes the people's elbow," which everybody hates, but I still love to death.
I used to hate it. Now I love it.
Oh, you gotta love it. It's the best thing in the world.
I used to hate The Rock.
Oh, I know.
I was, that era where it was like, oh, why does everybody love him? Now I know. He's so amazing.
He's electrifying.
He was the most electrifying man. Still is.
He is the most electrifying entertainer in Hollywood. But so you see that and you go, here comes the people's elbow.
Yeah.
You have that with your move. You have that, that bounce off the ropes, sort of bulldog face smash.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, the guy's set up for it. As a heel, you don't really get to use your finish move a lot. I mean, your finish move is a cheat, but
true. I mean,
I don't even have a finish move.
Well, I mean, Ric Flair had his figure 4.
Right.
I mean, it's
and he really didn't need to call it. His calling card was just picking up that leg, and the people were like, "Oh my God!"
True. I mean, you want to sneak into your finisher when you're a heel, unless you're a big badass heel who's going to destroy someone. You're like,
Yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Sure, like Brock Lesnar, with your suplexes. But I mean, yeah, I guess he's a heel. He's got Heyman as a manager.
I'm not
he's a heel.
sure I said it right. Let me try it again. Brock Lesnar.
That was beautiful.
That was horrible.
That was
That's
beautiful.
right. Can we erase that?
Nope.
Oh,
I edit the beginning and the end to put in our music and
That's
our
right.
calling cards. That's it.
Right.
I don't adjust the volume.
That
I
was-
apologize for everyone's ears, or if you can't
I
hear.
apologize for any future progeny of mine that listens to that.
My son's going to listen to this. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Julian.
He'll never listen to this.
No,
Your son's too cool for school.
I'm not going to let my son ever listen to this or even know that I pro wrestled. He'll be like, "What's that?" I'll be like, "I have no idea. It's
whatever.
It's pornography. Don't
Sam
look
and
at
Julian are going to tag. Shut
it."
up.
Oh my God! How
be great.
awesome would that be?
That would be great. Whatever. I have 2 kids. I have a tag team. You got to
I
make
know.
your tag team.
I know. Well, I'm gonna be like the Ric Flair to his Charlotte, but he'll be
nice.
yeah,
That'd be
he'll
good.
be yeah.
I hope my sons don't get into pro wrestling. They're going to.
You kind of if they do it, you want them. At least we would know how to do it smart,
Yes.
and that would be the thing. Like, I wouldn't feel bad because I'd be like, okay, look, don't be a dummy. Here's how to do it, and if you're gonna do it, go balls to the wall with it.
Right.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt for a little bit. You're gonna figure out how to. Once you learn how to bump and learn how to sell, and then learn how to put it together without having to bump so much.
True.
Then you'll be in the money town.
Yes.
But not having somebody like that would be able to do that for, like we didn't have like a mentor when we first started. I think if we'd had like a mentor, like somebody who took us under their wing and was like, "Hey, buddy,
Yeah, this is how you do it.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
going to suck, and these dudes are going to be mean to you, but buck up.
True.
I'm going to be nice to you, and it'll be cool." Like an advocate or like somebody who is.
Would have been nice. I mean, I got that going down the stage combat route.
Yeah, that's what that's why I got, it was really much more receptive in that arena.
Right. I mean, theater's more cooperative. I think pro wrestling should be more cooperative, and it's getting that
It
way.
has become that way.
And I mean,
feel.
it is that. Even back then, it was like that. But you just had to be in the right crowd.
Yeah.
In the right mindset. If we had stuck with it long enough, we'd have been part of that cooperative process.
Yeah. I think I was about 2 weeks away from main eventing.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
At
I forgot
WrestleMania?
to mention. Yeah, last Sunday I had a dark match at WrestleMania.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was the darkest of dark matches.
Yeah, I wrestled S.A. Rios.
Ah. I didn't know he was still around.
He beat me.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was a squash match, actually. He squashed me pretty bad.
I was listening to an interview with the Brooklyn Brawler today.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still working behind the scenes at WWE.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he's still around.
God.
He's only 51, dude.
What?
That's all he is.
I felt like he was like super old watching him in the 80s.
No,
Are
no,
you,
no, no,
you
no.
gotta be, wasn't he? I thought the Brooklyn Brawler was doing the clown.
No.
That was. It must have been
Are
a
you
rumor.
kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. It must have been a huge rumor going
There's a
around. when I was
gargantuan
kid.
rumor.
Yeah,
I
everybody
forget
was like,
I forget
Brooklyn
that
Brawler's
Doink's
doing
real
the
name.
It was Dink. It was
It was
his real
Dink?
name. His real name was Dink, and Dink's real name was
My
Doink.
first
It's the
exposure to
weirdest-
Doink was at WrestleMania 10, which I rented from Blockbuster.
Oh my God! Do you remember renting
Yeah,
WrestleMania?
oh yeah, I do.
Isn't that awesome?
That was the first real wrestling thing I watched was WrestleMania 10.
Oh, nice.
And I loved it, which is it's not even the best WrestleMania because Doink is there and he's with Dink, who is his little person copy of himself,
yeah,
and
It's
they're
mini-
against
his mini me.
his mini me. They were against I think Bam Bam Bigelow and another little
Another
person.
little person.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was really
God.
terrible. See now, like Doink the Clown was an interesting character when he was a heel.
See,
that
what-
evil clown. It
Yeah,
was
that
really
is
interesting.
real
then when he
creepy,
went
real
face, and it's
interesting.
like, well, okay, now you're just a clown.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole gimmick is ridiculous, but
Yeah,
I love ridiculous gimmicks.
I gotta say though, the twisted love affair between wrestling and little people. I mean, at one point you just go, okay, I'm gonna watch this once and then I'll be it. But
Yes.
like, some people are like really into that.
I wish I had more little people friends so we can include them on our show.
That'd be good. Yeah.
But see, I hate it because, look, little people want to be taken seriously because they're human. Obviously, they're human beings. I don't have to say that.
yeah.
But,
No. Super.
But then there's people the little people who embrace it and are like, okay, I'm going to do wrestling as a little person, and that's our show. That's our gimmick. They're still in that sideshow mentality. And, I respect that. I really do. I mean, I know the little people of America probably really hate that. I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
maybe
connected.
not. And I just maybe just showed how ignorant I am. they're workers as well. I mean,
That's right.
They're
Workers.
Brothers, they're working in
There are
doing
better
it.
trained wrestlers as little people than we are right now.
Right,
Guaranteed.
yeah. Even because it's spectacle. I mean, they've just heightened the spectacle. It's not.
That's
right. I don't know why it just became such a dodo.
I mean, yeah. Okay, I'll harken this back to our old conversation we just had. Spectacle. That's what pro wrestling is. That's really the crux of theater. Spectacle.
Right.
Spectacle is the first theater, and then it branches off into different genres. But spectacle, that's why circus still does so well, because it's pure spectacle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so is wrestling. I mean,
I'm going to go back even further and just go. If you ever get a chance to do pro wrestling, do it.
Do it.
It will. And if you're an actor and you're like, oh, I can't bump, I'm not the biggest, strongest guy, that's fine. You know what? You're not going to go in the WWE. You're just going to do it. Take a training. Train for a year.
Yes.
Just like if you're going to do, some sort of fight training.
If you have any love of performing in front of people, the exhilaration you get being in a wrestling match, it's beyond describable.
Yeah. Plus, it will stretch you so far, mentally, physically, and performance-wise.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to get this amount of raw performance atmosphere than you would anywhere.
Hey, I'm gonna put out a challenge to the students who have been in our workshop before last year. If you're listening to this, which I assume you are, because you were our students, and you better be. Now, I challenge you: post something on our page, either Renaissance Rumble, Facebook, or the Road to Wrestling School. Post how it affected you. How did it, as a performer, because everyone that was in there was a performer to some degree. Post there, how did it affect you as a performer? What was your experience like? I'm curious of that, and I'm sad I didn't ask you. I'll ask you in person, but I kind of want everyone to hear that, because these are people who went through it, who had never wrestled before, who got a first taste of that. Some were fans of wrestling. Some had never seen wrestling before.
Right.
And claim they got a lot out of it. I'm curious what you got out of it.
And I think for me, I don't want to pull this back personally because I'm super selfish.
You are a heel.
I'm super heel. Oh my god, I'm going to be so heelish tonight if I get to work heel.
Awesome.
Oh my, I've saved up all this rage this week. But what really helps me out as a performer is that if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe your gimmick, if you're not living it, people can see right through it.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I can't walk out in front of a crowd and say, I'm the Spanish stud muffin if I don't believe I'm the Spanish stud muffin.
That's right.
Just like you can't walk out in front of a crowd and say, I'm the Thane of Caldor and not believe you're the Thane of Caldor. People are going to see through that. Just because you're in a show and on the marquee it says, this is what this show is, doesn't automatically mean people are going to walk in and go, oh, well, I'm going to buy this immediately.
True.
It does help out with that, but it doesn't automatically do it. And what pro wrestling does is you walk in there and you've got to do that, or you know what? You're just some dude who just got in there and you just wrestled. So big whoop.
It's
I don't
true.
care.
I mean, audiences are always with you. They always want you to do a good job, even if they're booing you. But their bullshit detectors are way high.
Oh yeah, super.
They can
high.
see, audiences are so much smarter than people give them credit for. They can see through bullshit.
And
fast.
that's why the guys you remember, the Triple H, the John Cena, the Rock,
Jake the Snake Roberts,
Stone Cold, Superfly Snuka. Any of these people you could bring off, the top of your head, who are top people. That's who they were. That's just, they live that. That's who they were. That's a part of their, and you could see The Rock.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's still that, very electrifying, very cool guy to see and hang out. Looks like a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, that's why everyone still loves him. He lives that way.
Right. That's who he is.
John Cena's the same way.
Right. John Cena lives those three things. He, hustle, respect, loyalty, or whatever.
Oh yeah. Whatever he says. Yeah.
That's right. I'm pretending like I don't know what it is. Even though I'm a huge John Cena mark.
He's
I
amazing.
mean, look. I mean, it's probably like hustle, respect, loyalty. Like rattling it off. Could be something else, but I know.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my homework assignment for all you mega fans out there, especially people who don't normally listen to wrestling.
Podcast, whatever this is going to be.
I don't know. We should name our fans
7.
something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're like, here's some homework for you, all 5 of you that are listening,
right?
and my mom.
Hey, Mom, do this. I mean,
right.
Look, fans watch this anyway because I know you have, but if you haven't seen wrestling or if you've never seen Jake the Snake Roberts perform, go watch one of his matches. Watch how subtle he is.
Oh, yeah.
Watch how, together he is. Like, admire his style, because there's the explosive style. There's people with a lot of energy,
Right.
but then there's him.
There's Shawn Michaels.
There's Shawn,
right,
exactly. Shawn Michaels is
who can ratchet it up to the next gear, real quick.
But watch Jake the Snake. Watch how simple his gimmick is and how, like, intense he is.
Yeah.
With not even saying much, not even getting loud. Watch him. That's my homework assignment for you. And with that, we are almost at the House of Pain. Neil
Ooh, made it up
Superior,
here pretty quick.
Professional Wrestling Training Center in beautiful downtown Hagerstown, Maryland. So we're going to tap out, and we're going to get down to training. You know, I'm Grizzly Joe Grasso.
Hit up hashtag Hamish Stewart.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe to us on iTunes.
Like us on Facebook.
Rate and review us on iTunes, too. That helps us out, gets more people listening.
That's right. Our sponsor's Fathead, and
maybe it is. Who knows?
Loves it.
Well, we're almost there. So we'll see you down the road in the ring.
That ending sounds good. I like that.